Has made this year has been very, very noticeable. Australia certainly has another name to choose. See now, Peter, is riders not wanting to lead potentially. I mean, it's getting very messy now. It's as if Gonzalez has recovered. He's in third place now then. A brilliant move up the inside of car, pushing at the beer for in the future in World Championships.
Of course, it's his third season, so he will not be back in the...
For a lot of them, they don't really want to lead coming down the start and finish straight. They want to be the ones doing the dive bombing, not the ones getting an ultimate turn. And he had such a great drive through there that he's almost catching up to both.
Rookies Cup next season.
Not another Holmes has gone down. Oh, that is dive bomb, and it was Ramadipa doing the biggest dive bomb of them all. But it's going to be Morelli who goes through the front, and that Veda and Brian out front. A 144, the first one that we've seen of the race. Such a shame. That is not the way he wants to sign off from his second year. And it is Guillaume Plump going wide, getting all crossed up. It's Morelli leading the way from so far then, and it is Gonzalez on a mission. Here is rookies. Joel Ponce, one of the loveliest characters that we have.
But it's his sixth fall in.
Ramadipa in second place now. That is why then they don't want to be the one that's getting dive bombed to Kim Dinesh. 14th place at the moment. He is closing steadily on
a race and a Rookies Cup race this season. So back with the leader then. It is Brian Ariarte.
Turn one. So we are seeing more silly sort of antics in the penultimate corners.
There's another, you know, a thinker with
the riders in front of him, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
No, he's the cap champion ahead of the number 11 of David Gonzalez. Haven't talked too much about it. I think it's back in 11th place. It's the 54 of Veda Pratama, and I can just... He's lapping at a very similar pace for the men in front, but of course he's got to go quicker. It's almost the same lap.
David Gonzalez second, Pugliese third, Pratama then Dinesh.
Just imagine he is the sort of guy who's sitting there in the middle of the pack, not wanting to do anything too dramatic. Time as Ariarte and Pratama in the front.
He can only hope for some misfortune to befall the... In 5th place, Malaysia versus Indonesia for second in the championship. We remind you, one...
I'm going to wait to see how things unfold.
Carlo Thompson's another one of those riders, I reckon, Peter. He was in 8. The 2 title rivals ahead of him, which is always in the realms of possibility, but they point between them.
Elbows out.
Literally, yeah.
Okay, so Brian still has
crossing the line, but found himself way up front after that. Goodness me. They are looking very, very strong out front, both Ariarte and Pratama. They have
the advantage, but up in the second place, Guido Pugliese.
And Dinesh moves up on Pratama. Oh no, who was that? It wasn't Plonk going wide, it was somebody else then. Basically been in the top 3-4 positions the entire race, the only riders to do so. They're into turn one, a very nice, tight but clean move from the Malaysian then. Could have been Singapore actually. He's down into 7th place now. I think it was. They are just on another level here.
Yeah, so Ariarte. Now this is the opposite of
really, really nice indeed.
Oh my goodness.
Like you, unfortunately.
Right, so down the drop they go, off the waterfall. Of course, what happened yesterday, which was Veda leading all the way, and Brian Ariarte, gracious me, and those damp patches, it's still cool, of course, those damp patches are hanging around, but... And it is Marco Morelli who has the slightest advantage. There is the 50, watching what he was doing, where he was going, and picking just the right moment on the last lap to pass. There's mostly a dry line, but you just got to be careful you don't get offline. Maybe that limits some of the one of our, well, he can sometimes a points leader, depending on where he... Now this time, it's Veda who is watching Brian to see where the Spaniard is quickest. The overtaking possibilities.
Pugliese had a big moment on the exit of turn 6 there, loses a bunch of place. Exactly, but he's not at the moment. He'll be firmly in second place, finishing in a position like that. There's Pugliese then. Morelli's also recovered then after being completely pushed wide a few laps ago now. This is Dinesh then into second place ahead of Pratama then. So it's 1, 2, 3 in the championship. 31 has not had a great weekend of it so far. Had a very he's kept it calm. He's back up to 4th position. It's now a leading quartet. You've got Benyat Fernandez. 1, 2, 3 in the race, but not for long as Matani gets sideways into turn 8 then. Nonplussed expression about him all weekend long so far, but he might well be feeling a bit happy. There's leading the chasers just behind, but how much tyre has he used up coming all the way from the back of the... Moving up into 4th position, the Japanese rider. How about this as an advert for the Asia? Talent graph to this. Morelli still leads down down and towards turn 1. But goodness me, how many riders are towards the front now as they go 3 abreast again. David Gonzalez up the inside, push up 3, 2, 3 and 4 Asia Talent Cup graduates. Yeah. Brilliant. Do you want to beat Ramadeepa? Goes in a second place then.
And Brian Uriarte came up.
I think Veda Pratama quite wide. He can't push it, goes wide as well. So it's now
great stuff, and it is the 54 now that takes up the second place. Veda Pratama the inside from about 10th place to 5th place on the brakes there into the first right-hander.
Morelli into 3rd place. Veda in 4th.
Yes, and the number 11. Of course, as things finish like this, he would take 2nd place back.
Morelli, look, you've got to be careful, guys. You can't let him get away. This is getting a bit.
Of Gonzalez has the lead. He was disappointed yesterday. He got pushed back to 5th in the end, but from Hakim Danish in the cup points.
I should also correct myself. Those are the 3 Asia Talent Cup. Oh, big move there for 3rd place. Benyat Fernandez up the inside of Puig.
He's having a superb ride this time in the dry. Morelli on the 95.
Champions the last 3 years as well up there as well. So brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Easy there, moves him wide. But as I was saying, you know, Morelli's not a rider you want to let get away.
5 there, up into 2nd place. Takes that from Gonzalez. Uriarte has the advantage. Superb stuff. Right, but Brian now has an advantage of what no, he isn't. I think Brian Uriarte has seen that turn. He knows it. He was around the lead.
Well, Danish set a 1:45.2 last time around. He's quicker than... oh, Mitani! Sorry, up the inside again. Yeah, foot off the foot.
To watch Marco Morelli be so superb at Assen, and that's why I think he moved.
About the next 9 riders ahead of him, but is it going to be enough? He's still resting everything, Peter.
Absolutely, he is so determined, isn't he, to end his season on a high note. Up into 5th place and is now up into 4th place. He doesn't want to see Marco Morelli disappear, just as you said.
1 second adrift from the chasing back, and he's got it all to do, bless him. Come on, Hakim, you can.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. And as I said, you know, he's looking hopefully to impress people to get a Matt.
Well then, up the hill we come once again. Then it's going to be... Can find another gear, crack on. It's all there for the taking as Morelli moves up.
Right, so Marco Morelli has his ride already, but he isn't slowing down at all. He's right on
left and flick it right down the waterfall. How fast can you go through here? Well, look at that. Look at the 2nd place now, ahead of Gonzalez.
And as I say, Morelli looking for his first win of the season on Zen's tail and ahead of Hakim Danish.
What a character. What gap forming. I mean, Morelli's not hanging around. I'll be very interested to see the lap times this time around.
He's only been on the podium once. He can do better than that, and that's what he's trying to show us at the moment. He's
a character. Go on, Morelli as well, up into 3rd place too. This is